Greeting, fellow Rangers. Blaze Ranger here, and welcome to an interesting little episode that I've wanted to do for a little while now. And I'm just going to call this, How Much Can I Carry? With the introduction of the Shulker boxes, which allows you to put 27 items in a particular box and then carry that in as part of your inventory, it begs to ask the question, how much can you actually carry? So in this quick little episode, we're going to look at three different versions of that question. The first one is, how many can we carry? Like, how many of each item can we carry? And what we're going to be dealing with is gold ingots, and you'll see why for the other parts of this question. But I want to use gold ingots because, one, you can stack them, and two, you can make blocks of them. So that means it makes actually more than a lot of the other blocks. You know, like eggs, you can only carry 16. Cobble, you can only carry 64, but you can't stack them. But gold, along with other things like iron and redstone and stuff like that, you can actually stack them into blocks, which makes them much more compact. So we're going to have a look at what's the maximum number of gold ingots you can carry. Then we're going to we're going to calculate what the volume of that would be, like how big an area would that cover. So that'll be the second part, and the third part is going to be the weight. Like, gold is one of the heaviest substances that's used in Minecraft. So, and we know how much gold weighs. We can calculate that out. So once we know how many pieces we've got and what they all weigh, we can just calculate how much it is we're carrying. So here's what we're going to do. First off, let's have a look at our inventory. This is the regular, no frills inventory, I guess, of what we can carry. As you can see, there are 37 different slots that we can use. That includes the offhand. So imagine if we were to fill every one of those 37 slots with a full stack of iron ingots. So that's 37 stacks, 37 stacks times 64 ingots. That equals 21,312 ingots that we're carrying. That's a pretty big number, but let's take this a little bit further. As you all know, you can take 9 bars or 9 ingots of gold and stack it into one block. It creates one block. So now imagine that you're carrying 64 blocks of gold in each slot. So in here we've got 21, instead of 21,312 ingots, we've now got 21,312 blocks. And at 9 ingots per block, so 21,312 times 9 equals 191,808 ingots. So that's a fair number. I wouldn't want to have to count that high. So let's take a look at the Shulker box. This is the inventory for a Shulker box. And as you can see, we've got 27 slots in each box. So if we filled each one of those Shulker box slots with 64, a full stack of iron blocks, that's 27 slots times 64 blocks, equals 1,728. And then, so each one of those blocks has 9 ingots, so that equals that there's 15,552 ingots per Shulker box. Now, if you fill up your entire inventory with Shulker boxes, you've got 37 Shulker boxes times 190 or times 1,728 blocks per box equals 63,936 blocks, or 575,424 ingots. That's over 500,000 ingots that we can fit in our box, or that we can carry at any one time. But if we replace any one of those Shulker boxes, and we're just going to replace the one in our offhand with an ender chest. Now, an ender chest, instead of having one Shulker box, we've now got an ender chest that's containing 27 ender chests. So we now have, or Shulker chests, sorry, Shulker boxes. So we now have a total of 36 Shulker boxes plus one ender chest with 27 Shulker boxes in it. So we've got a total of 63 shulker boxes times 1,728 blocks equals 108,864 blocks, or 979,776 ingots. That's almost a million ingots we're carrying. So first off, that's the number that we can carry. That's the maximum we can carry, is 979,776. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? And I know you can't stack things like eggs or gravel or any of those others. Only certain ones can be combined, like blocks or hay or any of those kinds of things. So, but I want to see what the maximum is I can carry. So now let's have a look at the volume. Like, how much room would this actually take? So we know that a block is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. So here's a gold block. Here's how we look standing next to it. Now we are just slightly shorter than 2 blocks. 2 blocks is roughly 39 inches. So it's just over 6 feet high. So here's, for sake of argument, we're going to take this and we're going to make a stack of gold blocks that are 10 blocks high. Oops, goes right off the edge of our page here. Okay, so let's just shrink this down a little bit so we can get more of a scale. So if we've got a stack of 10 blocks, which is 10 meters high, roughly 3 feet per meter, actually works out to 33 feet high. That's how high 10 blocks would be, 33 feet. So for scale, we're going to put it right in the very corner of a football field. This is an American football field, not a Canadian football field, because Canadian ones are slightly bigger. But we'll just go with American ones. So an American football field is 100 yards long. And if we go 104 meters, which is 341 feet, and stack it those 10 blocks long. So we've got a whole wall. Now if we go the other direction, put another football field and go in the other direction, same distance, we're going to go 104 blocks, which is 104 meters or 341 feet. Now if we fill all that in, that would equal 108,864 blocks. That's how big the area would be. It would cover 100 yards one way, 100 yards another, roughly, and 10 yards, 10 meters high. So 33 feet high by 341 feet by 341 feet. And we fit all that in our backpack, or however we carry all this stuff. And as you can see, I'm still here, right here in this little corner. That's me. But this is what I'm carrying. So now we're going to work on the really interesting one. And unfortunately, it deals with a lot of math. Okay, we've got 108,864 blocks that we're carrying. Now gold weighs 1,203.84 pounds per cubic foot. That's a foot by a foot by a foot. There are just over 35 cubic feet per cubic meter, which is 1 block. There's roughly 35 cubic feet in a block. So that means 1 block weighs 42,000 pounds, 42,513 pounds. That's just 1 block, and we've got 108,000 of them. So if we take that 42,500, multiply it by 108,000 blocks, we come up with a total weight of over 4.5 million pounds. Now to sort of give us a more manageable number, oh no, sorry, that's 4.5 billion pounds. So if we want to get a more manageable number, we're going to divide that, we're just going to shrink it down to tons. So that's 2.3 million tons. That is how much weight we can run with. And we can still swim with a full suit of iron on. And by the way, a full suit of gold armor, 113,000 pounds. Now 2.3 million tons, that's kind of hard to even imagine how much that is. So this is an aircraft carrier. This aircraft carrier weighs 100,000 tons. So if we can carry 2.3 million tons, we are carrying around the equivalent of just over 23 of these aircraft carriers. So that's how much weight we can carry. So we're carrying almost 1 million blocks, or 1 million ingots. We've got a volume that's the size of well over a football field, 33 feet deep or 10 meters deep, however you want to look at it. And it weighs the same as 23 aircraft carriers plus a couple tanks and a few planes, just to round it out a bit. So there you go. That answered the question. If you ever wondered how much can you carry, oh, that's hard on the neck. How much can you carry? Now you know. Just refer to this video. So that's going to be it for this one. Hang around for my next adventure. Not sure where I'm going to end up. But as always, thanks for tagging along.